This is the Marriott Rooms Forecasting Case by Lauren Menzel. So, in the introduction of the Marriott Rooms Forecasting Case, it is focusing on the Hamilton Hotel and how they can forecast their demand for a specific day. So, Linda Snow, the reservation manager, has to make the decision to accept 60 additional reservations for Saturday, August 22nd. And in total, they're at 1,877 rooms in the hotel, so she has to make the decision from her historical forecasting models to either accept or deny the overbooked hotel. So on this exact Saturday, there are already 1,839 rooms already reserved, so there are going to be 22 rooms overbooked. So for the situational analysis and objectives, Linda Snow must forecast based on historical data the last 13 weeks and analyze the demand patterns. So this will show how many people in the past have stayed on that weekend, and she'll have to decide whether it's a good idea to accept the reservations. Now, the hotel will lose revenue if someone who booked canceled, so accepting the reservation could be a way to replace the cancellation. But if a customer decides not to cancel, they will have to accommodate the additional people to another hotel, providing a transport and a fruit basket. So the decision Snow decides to take will impact the Hamilton Hotel in both directions. So for the stakeholder analysis, the customers are the most important aspect, so making sure they are happy is what will continue to give Hamilton Hotels business. So there's a huge risk that could leave 22 rooms overbooked, and this could potentially be around 88 people left without a room, and that's just counting 4 people to a room. So the cost for denying a room is about $180, and for denying the 22 rooms would be $3,960. So Linda Snow might not want to be left with this risk. So Marriott Hotels offers the special Marcus cardholder option, and so if they're denied a room, they would receive a $200 cash plus and the next 2 stays for free. Industry analysis. So by looking at the historical data, she will figure out what is best for the company, and it may be too much of a risk denying the reservations because of the amount of cancellations they usually have on the weekends. And being that Saturdays are always underbooked, taking the risk might be in her best interest. Solution options with quantitative. The MAPE has been discovered throughout seasonality and which method should be used in order to determine if accepting or not. So we have to use multiple forecasting is going to be the way that Snow can decide. And the first forecast is exponential smoothing. The MAPE is going to be before this reseasonalized forecast is lowered than the after forecasted. And a pro of accepting this forecast method would be that they have the best option to people canceling and allowing the 22 overbooked rooms to become available. And the historical data set is 8.43 and the future at 12.98. The second forecast is going to be the NAVE forecast, which is showing a higher MAPE than the exponential smoothing at 16.85 for the historical and 21.52 for future forecasting. This could be an option to use for looking at the future data, and as a pro being in the trend analysis, they are using accurate historical data that already exist and the relationships between variables are established already. And the third option is the 3-month moving average forecast, which is showing a lower MAPE for the historical data. So for the future forecasting for only Saturday, it is showing a MAPE for historical data at 15.78 and for the future at 19.7. These MAPE scores are showing a higher than exponential smoothing, and in between the NAVE forecasts, but they are much closer together as a total. So the last forecasting method is the linear regression. It's showing a higher MAPE score in all areas, being 27.22. This will not be the best method to use while trying to figure out what is best for the company, because it is going to be harder to accommodate as many people. A pro is showing the linear relationship between the historical and future data. So for option selection and justification, I said that the exponential smoothing is the best way to look at the future data while forecasting. The MAPE is 12.98 for the future, being the lowest out of the 4 ways I have forecasted. And the historical data for this was a MAPE of 8.43, also being the lowest of the 4. So by using the lowest mean absolute deviation of the data, the seasonal forecast for the hotel is expected to have 1,787 customers show up out of the 1,839 that were already booked. So for the final recommendations, I'm recommending that Linda Snow takes the 60 reservations for the tour company. In the short term, the recommendation is that if she accepts and prepares accommodations for customers who have the chance of not getting a room in the Hamilton Hotel. In the short term, I would use exponential smoothing to determine how many customers for a specific day or Saturday. And for the long term, I would recommend using the 3-month moving average. The 3-month moving average is a better way to look down the road for the next time the hotel is overbooked and needs to be determined if rooms are going to be readily available. So, in conclusion, Linda Snow should accept the 60 reservations from the tour company according to the exponential smoothing forecasting data. Using this forecasting method, she will be in the clear with accepting, making sure that the business will be profiting from it and not losing. By taking this risk for the company, she will be able to assist the customers with staying in her hotel, and if she is wrong and not as many people cancel, she will give the option to put them in a nearby hotel.